If you delete something by accident, the important thing to remember is to stop using the drive where that information is stored. If you overwrite that information, it's going to be much more difficult to recover. Otherwise, if you've got a micro SD card, compact flash, external hard drive, even the hard drive installed in your computer, in most cases you can use this utility to recover any data that might have been accidentally deleted. So the first thing we're going to do is go over to cgsecurity.org. And from here you can download a free utility called PhotoRec. Now there are several different links on the page here. There's a support forum, there's a donate button. I highly recommend that if you find this utility helpful, you do use the donate button. I'm not affiliated with this company in any way, but they have helped me out many times before. So what we want to do from here is go ahead and click on the PhotoRec link, and then you can get some more information as far as documentation goes about the program and how it works. And if you scroll down here, it will show you the supported operating system. So this will go anywhere from DOS, Windows 95, 98, up to Windows 7. I do not know if this is compatible with Windows 8. I assume that it is not. I do not have Windows 8 and I don't even want Windows 10, but if anyone wants to test this with either of those operating systems, get back to me and let me know. And if it is compatible, I will definitely update the video description to reflect that information. You can see we also have Mac OS X, Linux, and several other operating systems that are supported here. So there's a good possibility that this will work with your operating system as long as it's not too new, I assume. What we're going to do now is click on the download test disk and PhotoRec, and from here you'll have to select the parameters that you're looking for. So I've got Windows 7 32-bit. I'm going to use this second link. If you've got 64, of course, there's a link right below it and so forth. But I'm going to go ahead and click on this link, and that'll open a new page, and it should begin my download. If not, I'll have to start it here. So I'm going to save this file into my download folder. So be sure to keep track of where that goes. Otherwise, you can always search for test disk in order to find it. But we'll go ahead and click that. Okay, so once your download finishes, what we want to do is open up this folder. So I'm just going to right click and do open containing folder. And down here you can see we have test disk 7.0 win, and that is because I'm using Windows, I assume. We're going to need to extract these files. So if you double click on this, it will open, but you will not be able to use the utility. What you've got to do is have everything extracted from the folder. So go ahead and click on extract here, or you can move it to whatever location you want it to be in. And this will go ahead and create a new folder that says test disk 7.0. And once you do that, just double click that folder, and on the inside you should have an icon that says PhotoRec _ and then I believe the prefix of whatever operating system you're using. Now before I open this, I want to insert the media that I'm going to be recovering files from. So I'm going to plug a 2 GB micro SD card into my USB port using an adapter, and you can see that it's opened up and is removable disk E. Now if I open this up to look inside the folder, right now it doesn't show anything as far as contents, and I want to take this one step further. What I'm going to do is open up inside my computer, and you'll see here's removable disk E. I'm going to go ahead and format this disk. You do not need to include this step. I'm only doing this for demonstration purposes, but typically when you format a disk, it's going to give you a warning saying this will erase all of the information on the disk, and in fact it will erase any references to that information, but in fact the information will still be on the disk. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. We formatted that. It's completely empty as far as the computer can see, but when we run this utility, you'll see a different story. So I'm going to go ahead and double click here, hit run, and then you'll have a dialog that opens up. And from this dialog, you'll have some options. If it says continue previous session, we're going to click N for no because this is a new session. And here you can see all of the drives connected to my computer. So I've got a 500 GB drive installed, which is my actual hard drive on the machine, and we can use this utility to recover deleted files from there. Keep in mind you must have enough available storage space to back up any files that are recovered. So typically you want to have a much larger drive to recover to than what you're pulling files from. Just below that I've got my external storage drive, and then where you see the 1977 megabyte. And by the way, we have to navigate with our arrow keys here. Obviously, a mouse is not going to work inside of this dialog. So I have my 1977 megabytes, which is the 2 GB flash card. And if I click on enter from here, it will proceed, which is the next step. So I'm going to click enter, and then you have a couple of options at this screen. You can do no name or whole disk. I always select whole disk because if there's any chance that the disk was formatted in a different type of file system previously, then I believe that if you only select the current file system, it's not going to recover any of the other files. So I'm going to go ahead and do whole disk and then click enter again. And from this point, you can use the default. It's going to say other typically, and that will be the file system that you're using on that disk or the method that it's been formatted to. Click on enter. And from here, we have two options. We have C when the destination is correct and Q to quit. And you can change these destinations, but I would recommend you stick with the first one. It's going to go directly into this file where test disk is installed. Once I click C, because the destination is correct, it will begin the recovery process, and it will create an additional folder over here that says recoup_dr.1. And if you have a lot of files to recover, and I assume that you'll have a larger disk that you're working with, it will typically create more than one folder. So you can have recoup_dr.1 all the way down to probably an infinite number of folders, depending on what size your disk is. Now you can already see that I've got 93 MP3s recovered, 64 JPEGs recovered. And if we double click here, all of those pictures that were not shown on the disk before begin to appear inside of this folder. You'll also notice that the file names are arbitrary. There's no real preservation of the original file name, so you kind of have to dig through here and see what you're looking for. It's not too tough on photos, but if you're dealing with something like MP3s, as you can see, there are no names for these files, so you have to literally go in and open them up to see what they are. But the good news is that it is recovering these deleted files, and in many cases, if you have a large drive and you have a large number of folders here that you're searching through, you can always type in the file type that you're looking for. So if I type .jpg, then it will show me all of the photo or all of the JPEGs that were recovered from any of those directories that are listed. So again, .jpg, if I wanted to search just for PDFs, I could type in the file type and it will show any recovered files inside of that folder. Now this will recover MP3s, photos, videos. I've recovered PDFs, I've recovered Word documents. There are some different types of files that they will recover, such as .dlls. This kind of stuff will start to appear in these folders if you're recovering from your hard drive. So you might have to do some sorting to find what you're looking for. But the easiest way I found to do it is to just type in dot and then the file extension here in order to sort them so that they can be recovered. So we'll give it another 20 seconds and this should be completed. And there you can see that we have recovered a total of 167 files. It shows the destination directory where they were saved to. And as I mentioned before, you will come up with some things like .dlls and so forth. But for the most part, anything that hasn't been overwritten is going to be inside of that folder. And this will work on many different types of external drives. So one last chance to get your deleted files back. And from here, you can navigate through the options to quit and exit the program. If you found the video helpful, like it, share it, check out my channel for more tutorials and product reviews, and most of all, remember to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments section, and thanks for watching.